evening, everyone. Welcome to Turkish Cultural Center. I want to thank and recognize our distinguished guests. Thank you so much for coming, Mr. Mark Schur, the Director of Alliance of Civilizations. I want to thank Metin Dinç from Film Turkey, Georgia Torrent from PLURAL Plus, Project Manager, and Amy Weeden from the International Organization for Migration, and also Matthew Waite from again Alliance of Civilization. Thank you so much for being with us. And more importantly, I'd like to thank every one of you in the audience for being with us this evening. Turkish Cultural Center, as we have seen from the movie, is a non-profit, non-government civic organization which promotes Turkish language and culture in New York and also in the USA. It is our ultimate goal to promote peace, friendship, understanding, and tolerance among diverse communities in New York. Turkish Cultural Center New York strengthened the cultural and educational ties between the peoples of the United States and Turkey. We aim to make a significant contribution to the national and global peace and security by sharing Turkey's heritage of tolerance and understanding. And Turkish Cultural Center New York and the United Nations Alliance of Civilization has a lot in common in terms of its missions and vision to promote peace and harmony around the globe. Therefore, we support United Nations PLURAL Plus Youth Filmmaking Festival as a wonderful example to encourage youth to express their thoughts, feelings, and understanding by using media as a tool instead of violence, hostility, or hatred. Personally, I believe that it's our responsibility as a civic and cultural centers to promote these initiatives. I'm happy to announce that the Turkish Cultural Center will participate in the film festival next year with 2 or 3 films. Again, thank you so much for coming. Please enjoy the rest of the program.
Now I would like to call Mr. Mark Schur to the podium. He is the Director of the Secretariat of United Nations Alliance of Civilizations. The UNAOC is a political initiative under the auspices of the UN Secretary-General, which aims to improve understanding and cooperation across cultures and religions, and in the process to help counter forces that fuel polarization. Most of Mr. Schur's previous activity has been with the Council of Europe, based in France. He has notably been in charge of conflict prevention programs and post-conflict reconstruction initiatives. He coordinated the Council of Europe's early response to 9/11, including addressing the roots of terrorism. He has previously worked as a lawyer in the European Court of Human Rights and was the director of the Office of the Human Rights Commissioner. Please welcome Mr. Mark Schur.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much, Mehmet, for having us here. This is a place where we feel at home, not only because, as you know, the Alliance of Civilization has deep Turkish and Spanish roots, but because this is a place where there is such a wealth of events going on around the year. I feel very often ashamed not to profit more than that, and not myself. Thank you for reminding us what the Alliance of Civilization is all about, building bridges between different communities, people, nations across all kinds of boundaries. What is, I think, important about the Alliance of Civilization is not so much the purpose, which, as several said, we all share. It's rather the method, which is not to produce new texts, new conventions, negotiate treaties, but try to build with all the relevant people. One of the many aspects where the differences, the diversity arise is, of course, increasingly so in those huge cities, intercultural cities around the world. And that's where we are trying to help, in particular, young people and young migrants to address the issues of the living together. Using the arts, using the skills of video production to do that is nicely wrapping together all that the Alliance stands for. So it is a particular pleasure to be here with you tonight to have another look at some of these videos to look at the videos that have been produced by others and to have a little talk about the potential for change in it. Thank you very much for being here.
Please welcome Ms. Amy Whedon to deliver her speech.
Thanks very much, and apologies again from Ms. Klein-Solomon, who unfortunately became sick earlier today. But before I begin, I just want to express our gratitude and appreciation to the Turkish Cultural Center of New York for hosting this event and for their staff for their invaluable help in putting this event together. And we think that this event really reflects the energy and the commitment with which Turkey is engaging on youth issues, and in particular youth participation in media. And we're delighted to see so many young participants in the audience here today. So this event comes at a very opportune time for us as we're realizing youth participation in media that has emerged as part of the wave of the Arab Spring that's going on right now. Rarely, if ever, has the capacity for media to promote popular aspirations for change have been more powerfully demonstrated than during the youth-led movements of the Arab Spring. The breadth and speed of change across the region has, at times, outpaced our ability to understand what has happened. What is immediately clear, however, is that the voice of youth, combined with the amplifying power of media, has fundamentally shifted the terms of political debate. During the height of the demonstrations in Egypt and Tunisia, the diverse faces of youth, united by a common call for change, broadcast throughout the world. But perhaps as important as the content of these images was the way in which they were gathered and transmitted. Some of the most defining images were contained in the pixelated, blurry video camera phones and handycams brought to the world by young citizen journalists determined to have their voices heard. These images entered living rooms all around the world, not only through the mass media of television, but most importantly, through the blogs, social media, and Twitter feeds that have come to redefine the media landscape so suddenly in our era. The voice of youth established a new means for political discourse in the decentralized realm of the internet, circumventing hierarchies of cultural power and mobilizing an entire region and an entire generation for change. These images of common purpose reaffirm the belief of the United Nations Alliance of Civilizations and the International Organization for Migration, embodied in Plural Plus, that young people are creative agents of social change in a world often characterized by intolerance and division. In many parts of the world, youth not only represent the future, but also the majority, yet there are very few opportunities for young people to reach a mainstream audience and have their voices heard. So as you know, Plural Plus is a joint initiative between the UN AOC and the International Organization for Migration. It is a youth-produced video festival that encourages young people to explore issues of migration, social inclusion, diversity, and enables them to share their creative vision with a global audience. With a network of over 50 partners, Plural Plus supports the creative efforts of young people and distributes their videos worldwide. Since Plural Plus began in 2009, we've had over 250 entries from 63 countries around the world, with the winning videos shown in dozens of festivals, cinemas, and broadcasts on television networks throughout the world, not to mention the thousands of viewings on the Plural Plus website. The insight and creativity with which young people have engaged with so many complex issues is a testament to the energy that they bring to addressing social problems. Plural Plus aims to support dialogue with and between young people from different cultures, and in the process, promote cooperative efforts to reduce tensions and address the key challenges of their communities. Video is such a powerful approach to this dialogue because fundamentally, it appeals to a sense of shared human experience. Today, we are lucky enough to be seeing a selection of award-winning videos from the 2010 Plural Plus Youth Video Festival. Close Your Eyes, a short film directed and produced by students of the Film Turkey program, is a compelling example of the insight young people bring to universal issues of identity and social inclusion. This year, Plural Plus is working closer with community organizations and schools in some of the world's most disadvantaged regions to bring the power of multimedia into the creative hands of young people. These new media technologies have the capacity to empower disadvantaged youth to leap over the hurdles of poverty, illiteracy, and geographical isolation to become agents of social change in their community. As you will see in the videos being presented tonight, young people have striking insight into the problems and subtleties of the world they live in and will inherit. We hope you enjoy the videos as much as we have. Thank you.
Since everyone's been alluding to the videos, I would actually like to move on to the screening portion of our event. The first two videos actually we'll be watching is from Film Turkey, and I would like to ask Ms. Nifin Dinç to just provide us with a little intro to both. The first one is called Şansa Bırakma, or I Vouch for Him. And the second video is, actually we'll get to that after the first one, so if you can just introduce the first one.
Hello, my name is Nifin Dinç. Before screening the films, I wanted to explain what Film Turkey is about very briefly. We ran this project between 2008 and 2010 in Turkey. It's basically 6 cities in Turkey, not Istanbul or Ankara or Izmir, but smaller cities. We picked 12 students in each city and taught them how to make short videos. But we also discussed what democracy, human rights, women's issues mean in general in the classrooms before they start making their films. At the end, we had 72 students in total in those 6 cities, and they made 18 short videos about democracy, human rights, and women's issues. And tonight we will be screening 3 of those films to you. The first one is called Şansa Bırakma, I Vouch for Him. It's about a young man looking for a job in Sivas. The film is from Sivas. As you can see, it's in the middle of Turkey. Actually, I will just explain 3 of the films. Bahar, Spring is from Edirne, to the left, yes. And it's about Roman population in Edirne celebrating the coming of spring. And the Plural Plus award-winning video, again from Film Turkey, Close Your Eyes, is about young kids playing together. I don't want to give away too much about the films.
Doğmak, yaşamak, ölmek. Görünüşte her şey çok kolay. Doğman ve ölmen Tanrı'nın elinde. Senin elinde olan ise özgür iradenle yaşamak. Peki, 21. yüzyılda sahip olmak kavramı eşittir maddiyat. Peki ya maneviyat? Neyse, konuyu fazla dağıtmıyorum. Benim adım İbrahim. 25 yaşındayım ve müzmin işsizim. Liseden sonra birçok işte çalıştım. Ama hiçbirinde dikiş tutturamadım. Aranızda bunu eğitim durumumla bağdaştıranlar olabilir. Ama üniversite mezunlarının da hali ortada. Gün geçtikçe başlangıçtaki hayallerimden ödün vermeye başladım. Hayallerin gerçekleşmesinin cüzdanındaki parayla doğru orantılı olduğunu en sonunda anladım. Karanlık işler bana göre değildi. Son bir umutla eski patronları ziyaret ettim. Hepsi bana güveniyordu ve hepsi bana kefildi.
Bu adama kefilim. Aylarca beraber çalıştık. Dürüst, çalışkan ama beni kovdu. Ama mecburen krizden dolayı kovdu. Ama her türlü şeyine kefilim.
3 ay birlikte arkadaşımla çalıştık. Her şeyde kefilim. Benim adım Hasan Kır. Yanlış yapanı kırarım.
Kendisi çok çalışkan çocuktur. Hayatta başarılar diliyorum. Kendisine kefilim.
İnşallah işimi bulmaz. Kefilim.
Ama hiçbirisi bana iş vermedi. Bütün bu olanlardan sonra işi şansa bırakmamayı öğrendim. 21. yüzyılda bir işe girip çalışarak, kariyer yaparak zengin olma şansı, lotoyu tutturma şansından daha düşük. Size söylesene.
To the second film, which, as Nifin said, is entitled Bahar. It is a documentary about the celebrations of the coming spring in a Roman neighborhood of Edirne, Turkey.
yapıyoruz. Terziye bırakıyoruz, üstümüze göre etek diktiriyoruz. Yeni penyeler alıyoruz, yeni terlikler alıyoruz. Ayağımdaki etekler hepsi yeni, penyeleri yenidir. Kesinlikle eski giyilmez yani, bizim kuralımız, adetimiz budur. İngiliz'den geri roman hali ettiniz bizim. İngiliz'e dayalıyız. Siz sormuşsunuz, ben neyim de? Ben Bülent'ten nedir bizim mahallede? Bizim evimizde mutluluğumuz çoktur. Roman halkıyız ama bizim evimiz bambaşka değildir. Huzurumuz, mutluluğumuz evin içinden yani hiç eksik olmaz. Babamı, annemi çok seviyorum. Beni okutmadılar ama gene de onları seviyorum yani. Yengem, babam ve annem.
Anneleri babalar istemiyor ama kızlar kaçıyor gidiyor. Bu sefer mecbur kalıyor onların evine.
Bir dahaki sene görüşmek üzere, güle güle.
Now we have 4 more videos for you. This time they're from the Plural Plus 2010 Youth Video Festival. They're some of the winners. And I would actually like to ask Mr. Jordi Torrent to give us a little bit of introduction to the videos if you'd like.
Sure, thank you. Well, first of all, thank you very much, Mehmet Kılıç and the Turkish Cultural Center for hosting this wonderful event. It's a great opportunity for us to be here and to share the videos, the voices of young people from around the world. Plural Plus is really a platform of distribution of young people's videos on the themes of migration, diversity, and social inclusion. It's really a network of partners, and the Turkish Cultural Center of New York is one of our partners, but our main partner really is the International Organization for Migration, that from the beginning we have been working together with that. And after the screening, we will have the occasion to discuss a little bit about youth media. So perhaps all what I could say is that please keep in mind that there is the call for entries for 2011. So you will see this flyer in the programs. The deadline is July 1st. So I will encourage you to let others know about this opportunity. Really, this is a great opportunity to share your voices and to distribute. But we'll talk a little bit more. And right now, we can see is actually last year at our conference, we received some really very powerful videos coming out of Film Turkish program, and that's how we got in touch with Nefin. One of the videos that received the award was Close Your Eyes, which is part of the Film Turkey, which I really congratulate you by the program, and we want to learn more about it, about how these videos come to be.
I'd like to move to the panel discussion where we will discuss youth participation in the media. Our moderator will be Mr. Mehmet Kılıç. Our panelists are Ms. Nifin Dinç, Co-Project Director at Film Turkey, Jordi Torrent, Plural Plus Project Manager, and Amy Mutin, Program Specialist at the International Organization for Migration to the UN.
Film Turkey is funded by the State Department, the US State Department. The long name is Youth Filmmaking Project in Turkey. And as I mentioned before, we picked 6 cities in Turkey. We made sure that it wasn't Istanbul, Izmir, or Ankara, because in general the projects are done in those big cities. There were 12 students in each city, and they produced in total 18 films, 9 fiction, 9 documentaries, and tonight you saw 3 of them. Many of the students were first-time filmmakers. They held the camera for the first time in their lives when they were making this project. these films. Now many of them are continuing to make films, which is the best outcome about this project. The students' ages varied between 15 to 22. And there were lots of girls and boys. What was important about our project was we didn't teach them only technology. We also tried to encourage them to think about democracy, human rights, women's issues, cultural diversity, etc. On top of it, 18 students from the project came to the US as well to work with the American students here at State University of New York. And that was a quite experience for them to, work one-on-one with American students and also stay with American families at American houses for 15 days. So that's basically what Film Turkey was.
Well, very briefly, again, there are so many good videos made by young people around the world, and in reality, there are not too many platforms to actually show these videos. So, with this in mind, we thought that it was important to provide a platform of distribution to channel these voices of young people in a very wide scope. And so PLURAL is in a way a result of that, focusing on the issues of really inclusive societies, building inclusive societies, multicultural, multi-religious, inclusive societies. And Film Turkey is an example of the great projects that are out there, and somehow really PLURAL, what it is a network of networks. So basically, again, what we want to do, and I think that's the strength of PLURAL, is that we are creating a platform where young people's voices are being distributed worldwide. At the same time, through the process of the festival, the awards are great professional opportunities for young people to receive awards, but also to be invited to other festivals and present their work. Thank you.
Now I would like to introduce Ms. Amy Muden. She is currently a program specialist at the IOM. The mission of the office is to contribute to the political, social, economic, and humanitarian debate and action on migration within the multilateral framework of international dialogue and cooperation of the United Nations. Since joining IOM in 2005, Ms. Muden develops and manages a series of workshops on migration and development issues to help stimulate critical thinking on key migration issues. She is also the focal point in IOM, providing guidance and support to numerous IOM field missions on accessing and leveraging various UN grant mechanisms, including the UN Central Emergency Response Fund and the UN Trust Fund for Human Security. She also regularly gives briefings on various migration issues, including trafficking to NGO and student communities at the United Nations or in the New York City area. Please welcome Ms. Amy Muden.
Thanks very much again, and I just want to say a few words about the International Organization for Migration, or IOM, as we're better known by our acronym. Just first a little bit about history about IOM. It was founded in 1951 to help manage all the displaced populations post-World War II, and since then we've grown in our mandate to make migration beneficial for migrants and governments alike. So from 1951, from a small organization, we've now expanded into an intergovernmental organization with 132 member states, about another 20 or so observer states and organizations to our membership, where we're headquartered in Geneva. We're not part of the United Nations system, but given that we have permanent observer status at the General Assembly, it allows our office in New York to participate in the UN system and the multilateral framework, where we can somewhat advocate or lobby for migration issues and various other UN debates, and also raise that issue with the membership of the United Nations. So when the UN Alliance of Civilizations was founded a few years ago, and they've identified migration as one of their major themes, they became a natural partner for us to work together on Plural Plus. And this is one of the major projects that we work with the UN Alliance of Civilizations. And we're very happy to be doing this now for the 3rd year with the UNAOC. Another project that we work on with the UNAOC is a migration integration online community, or otherwise known as EBIS, called Integration Building Inclusive Societies. Again, it is hosted on the UNAOC.org website. You will find it there. And what it is basically a compendium of various integration practices, successful integration practices that are done in various cities around the world, where we're trying to focus on a number of cities in the southern regions. So we invite you to participate there, to join the forums, to post your best integration practices, what have you. So I just wanted to limit my comments to that, and then hopefully generate a good discussion with the audience here. Thank you.
Now we would like to open discussion to our audience. So if you have any questions, any comments to our panel, please just raise your hand and we'll bring the microphone to you.
All right, normally I have questions to other panelists, but just to give you more time, I would like to ask my question, the last one. So do we have any questions from the audience? So we have a mic in the back. All right, please. And also we appreciate if you could just introduce yourself.
Sure. I'm Robert Keston, Executive Director of PDHRE, which is an organization that promotes the learning and integration of human rights into daily life. In a previous life, I ran for 5 years a film festival in Connecticut, which was the largest film festival in the state. We had a student film festival, a regular film festival, and a focus on women. In a lot of countries around the world, and even in the United States, in fact, there were more women filmmakers per capita in the silent era than there are today, which is something that most people don't realize once it became an industry. How affiliated are you, and you since you're based in the United States, with the many, many student film festivals that take place across the United States?
In the United States, actually, I'm glad you mentioned women, because one of our new partners this year is the Gina Davis Institute, actually, which is basically works and focus on how women are portrayed and represented in media. So this year, Gina Davis Institute will be part of the Plural Plus network. We're basically a platform of distribution. So we are partnering with already existing festivals. At the same time, we are inviting them to send videos and to let their participants that we exist. One of our strong partners actually is UNICEF. UNICEF has a festival called 1 Minute Junior, which is 1 minute videos on human rights and children's rights. So our partnerships are really very fluid in that sense. Several international festivals are our partners as well. But again, our vision is really very global in terms of Chin India, for instance. They have their own festival in India, and working with South Asian and children, similar to the Film Turkey project, but in India, and working with younger children. So we are partnering with them, and they are actually sending their videos to Plural Plus, and they're also giving an award, inviting the awardee to be the lead of the workshop for children. So it's a very fluid and it's really case by case kind of different projects.
I think the films were screened more than 120 film festivals in total, and we still keep submitting the films. So that's what we try to do. And just very briefly, the films will be online. All of the 18 films will be online quite soon on our website.